we'll stay on the subject of Man City. Of course, Pep Guardiola's side made it 4 on the bounce. Let's get more on this now by speaking to one of the most famous City fans in the world and one of the greatest singer-songwriters in the world. That's what his text just said. Introduced me like this. Noel Gallagher joins us. Hello, Noel.
Good afternoon.
Oh, that sounds like a heavy night.
It was a pretty heavy night, yes, indeed it was.
How are you, firstly? Congratulations to you. Pains me to say it, but well done.
Thank you very much. I could do with a good night's sleep, actually.
You and I spoke yesterday, and I said, are you staying up there to get on it? And you said, no, you're on the way back. Did it carry on when you got back to London then?
I was in the car on the way back.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
It was all worth it, though. I've got to go out tonight as well. I can't believe it.
No, did it feel any different? I mean, you guys win it every single season, but did this year, because it's the 4 in a row, did it feel any different?
Well, I guess it's a huge milestone in the game. Not only for us, but I mean, it's never been done before. But yeah, it did. Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen on those games in the last day. But I got to say, I've seen some things at that stadium. But when Foden scored that first goal, you've never quite heard a sound like it. It was just, it was a beautiful moment that him of all people would, the kid that was the ball boy and grew up in the academy and so much expected of him. He calmed it all down. 2 goals in 20 minutes, and it was pretty much plain sailing after that.
I was going to ask you about that, actually. By the way, do you need some throat lozenges? You okay?
No, I'm good. I'm
okay.
good.
I was going to ask you about that because before the game, I said, I think it was on Friday's show, that I expected to smash them maybe 4 or 5-1. So I didn't think there'd be a problem for you. But the goal went in so early. Did that settle the nerves? Did you have nerves before, or were you as confident as I was?
I didn't. I didn't think there's no way we would have lost that game. But, if you're kind of 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go and they get a corner, and do you know what I mean? It could have panned out very, very nervy. But to get a goal in the first minute, knowing that at the Emirates, it would have deflated them. And then to be 2 up after 20 minutes, you're not only are you settling your own nerves, you're kind of putting it on Arsenal as well. So it was, it was a great karma for Phil to score both those goals. And then after that, it was just a case of seeing it out, really.
No, how good's he been this year? Because obviously from the outside, you watch Manchester City week in, week out, and we only watch him. But how has he been?
Well, I remember coming on this show at the beginning of the season and saying that we were expecting big things from him, and he's just stepped up and delivered. We've not had Kevin De Bruyne for 6 months of the season, and we've ended up winning the league, and that's in no small part down to Phil, because he stepped in central midfield when really, it could have gone either way the season, and he's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. 27 goals and Lord knows how many assists. Big goals as well. Do you know what I mean? Big goals. And he deserves everything that's coming to him, that lad. Everything.
As a City fan, there's a reason I'm asking, who do you rate as your greatest ever player? And the reason I'm asking, does he have a chance of overtaking him?
Well, he'll certainly end up being the most decorated. Yeah. That's for sure. So he'll be in the conversation. People from a certain era will always say Colin Bell and Mike Summerby and Franny Lee and all that. And then there'll be David Silva and Aguero, and De Bruyne will be in the equation, Phil as well. Yeah. He'll just be he'll certainly be on his own as the most decorated. That's for sure, because he'll be there the longest. You would like to think.
Yeah.
But who's the greatest? It's like asking who's the greatest Man United players. Who'd you pick? Cantona or Charlton?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you about Rodri's post-match comments about Arsenal. I don't know if have you seen this?
No, I didn't know.
He said when they came here, this is Arsenal, they faced us at the Etihad, I saw them and said, these guys don't want to beat us. They just want a draw. And that mentality, I don't think we'd do it the same way.
Well, what I'd say about that is this, is when Man City were going for their first Premier League title, we beat United home and away. And I think you've got to go and take it from the champions. You have to take it from them. And I remember saying the night when Arsenal came to the Etihad, they did play for a draw, and at the time everyone was saying it was a great point. If they hadn't have dropped points against Villa, it would be a great point. But then they go drop points against Villa, and there's many ways to look at it. But they lost the league by 2 points. If they'd have won that game or if they'd have come out to win that game, they might have got battered. Who knows? But I think back to that time when we won it, and we went to Old Trafford and we won, and we beat them at home as well. And if you beat the champions home and away, you stand a great chance of taking their title. And they might want to learn from that next season.
Yeah, I think next season will be difficult. And I guess the obvious question is, they're going to get better and better, Manchester City. They always do. But you watch them again, Noel, every single week. Where can they improve? Because that's a scary thought.
Our defensive record wasn't great until the run-in when we didn't concede a goal for 4 or 5 games. Where can we improve? It's difficult to see. It depends now. Like Kev's getting on a bit. Bernardo is always has got one foot out the door every season, it seems. And look, we'll clap him to the airport if he decides to leave. He's done it all for us. So I'm not sure where we could improve. We've got to offload a few players. I don't know. This is, I was saying yesterday, this is as good as it's ever going to get for us. It's like, this is not going to last forever. When Pep said yesterday he's nearer the end than he is to the beginning, it's we better start. We better start setting up the parachutes for the for the landing, because it's going to be the end of an era soon. So we should live in these moments and enjoy them all. If we can somehow eke out another Champions League, it'd just be the best thing ever. But I'm not sure where we can improve. I'm not sure.
And you look at Manchester City's teams throughout the years, and then everyone thinks Aguero, you're that team, that's the best Manchester City side. And then you go fast forward a few more, you do the treble, and then you've won the 4th in a row. Which out of these teams did you enjoy watching the most?
Well, they're all different. I still don't think the team that won it when us and Liverpool were going for the title, and they've been saying this season it's the most thrilling title race of all time. It wasn't. That season where Liverpool won 17 games in a row to finish second, and we won 18 and won it by a point, and Liverpool got 98 points and didn't win the league. That's the best football I've ever seen by 2 teams in a title race. But the team that got the 100 points. 100 points. Come on. Then there's the team that held off Liverpool 2 seasons in a row. The team that did the treble. They've all been great teams.
It's a nice problem to have, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But the constant in it all has been the manager. And he's the one that sets the tone. And it was a funny thing last night on Match of the Day when Gary Lineker reminded him that no one's ever done a double-double. And knowing him like I do, I could see a light come on and go, that's it. Because he would have been thinking, what more is there left to do? I could see it in his eyes. He was like, the double-double. That's how he's going to frame it.
I was going to ask you about the FA Cup final this weekend, because on paper, of course, there's only one winner. And I know that people say, yeah, but on their day, and it's a derby. And so I think that maybe used to be the case 5-10 years ago. I just feel the gulf between the two sides, it pains me to say, the gulf between the two sides is so big now, I can only see one winner. Are you that confident or not?
No, it depends. It depends it depends on the team, right? Who starts? Who's been staying up all night this week? I don't think any City fans go in there thinking they're going to annihilate United. I think the first goal is that if United score first, we're in trouble. If we score first,
trouble.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so, because United, you lot can stop us doing a double, and you know what it's like, the rivalry between the two clubs. It's intense,
I know, but I think if you score first, we're in trouble. But if we
absolutely, that's what I'm saying. But if United score first, they can sit back.
Yeah.
But look, if you look at it now, the neutral observer would say United don't have a prayer, but you never know how these things pan out. I remember going to the FA Cup final one day when we were playing Wigan, and it was nailed on. We had Tevez, Aguero, Silva, Yaya. We had them all, and we got beat. So who knows?
Yeah. We were chatting before you came on. We were talking about the amount of column inches you got today on the back of 4 on the bounce compared to how many Liverpool got on the back of Jurgen Klopp's last game. A couple of websites I went on, and that was the main story. Klopp was the main story. Do you think Man City don't get enough respect?
Look, I think the players don't. That's for sure. Because I was listening to the radio this morning. Bracket and Inge on at 10 o'clock. All they were talking about was 115 charges, and it's like you think, let's give respect to the players. Do you know what I mean? It's like whatever the club has done or not done, right? Can we not park that for a minute? those players, that squad of players, have been outrageous for the last 2 seasons. Outrageous. And then you add Guardiola to that, who's come on this season. He's been amazing. And Doku. And it's like, I'm sorry, but those players deserve the utmost respect by everybody. Whatever Man City may not have done, we can park that until it comes out, or doesn't come out, or whatever happens will happen, But the players, for sure, are some of the greatest players that have ever played the game for us.
Mm. Well, no, Andy mentioned Liverpool there and Jurgen Klopp, and you spoke about watching the two teams go at it for quality when they got 97 and you got 98 points. Will you miss Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League as a competitor to Manchester City?
Well, yes. I mean, we don't care for that mob over there much, but I got to say, he's been. If Guardiola says if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have pushed us, then yes, it's been good for us. But he's been good for the league, but they've been a bit as well. I'm not, all the fist pumping at the cop end and all that every week. It's just like, really, whatever, and all that, the Batman thing. If the City needs me, I'll be there and all that. It's like, come on, really, But let's not forget, he won 1 Premier League trophy. That's all, just the one.
Yeah, I've said this and I've got absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, but not many people like you, do they?
Loads of people like. I'm like the radio version of Princess Diana. Loads like me now.
They don't like, but one title, and of course, the argument is, oh well, if it wasn't for Pep, it's like you missed out by 1 point or 2 points. We were all in it on the last day, and you never got there. So he's been great for Liverpool. For the rest of us, it's like, yeah, well done. You got as many titles as Ranieri.
Okay. Before I let you go, there's one question I had in my mind I forgot to ask when we were talking about Phil Foden, because in our little meet before, I'm slightly older than the rest of the gang here.
Slightly?
They're all in their sort of late 20s, even early 20s. And I was trying to describe the difference or even the similarities between Phil Foden and Gazza, and they said to me, who was better? And I was like, who would you say is a better player? Gazza or Phil? You would
Phil Foden.
Why would you say Foden?
I think he's more dynamic. I think he's quicker, and I think he will eventually. I will eventually be proved right. Maybe there's not much between them now, but 5 years from now, Phil Foden will be 3 times the player Gascoigne was.
Wow. Okay. Does he start for England? Not in your head, but in Southgate's?
No, because
that's what I said.
Look, the thing is, you've got to build a team around him. It's like, he's right. Phil, where do you want to play? I want to do this. Right. Never mind Bellingham and Rice and everybody else. It's like, look at this. He's like the player of the year. He's on fire. He's on form, right? He's going into the Euros as one of the top players in Europe. And if he doesn't start in his natural position, then I'm sorry, England aren't going to win anything.
Okay. Just before I let you go, did you do the Poznan yesterday when you won it, or you refused again?
I did not, no.
That was so funny.
I know. I was getting a lot of stick from the City fans yesterday.
Why?
Because because of the thing that was on the telly, and they're all on the train on the way. Like, you're going to do it today? I was like, no, I'm not.
You travel with the general public, do you?
Of course I do. Yeah.
See, superstar Noel Cannon.
Yeah, but I bet you've got security. You got security around you, right?
Well, if you count my 13-year-old son as security, then yes.
I think he's taller than you, isn't he?
He's getting there. He's as tall as Phil Foden.
Hey, listen, Noel, thanks so much for coming on. I can hear your pain, so I know you're suffering, but I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Well done as well.
Are you going to the final?
I don't know yet. I've got a ticket, but I don't know if I can get there. I might be. Are you going? Right. Are you in a box?
I'm going. I am in a box, yes.
You got room for 2 more?
No.
Okay, fine. I won't see you there.
Bye.
Thanks, Noel.
Bye.
See you later. Do you think Man United have got a chance against?
I don't, but strange things have happened.
Have they? Stranger things happened in the cup finals?
All of a sudden, we spoke about it, Wigan.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But one off doesn't happen twice, is it?
I know, I get that, but I don't think this type of thing happens to this Manchester City side, because when they got beat by Wigan, it wasn't Pep in charge, was it?
No, it was. I think Pellegrini.
Was it Pellegrini?
I think so.
I don't think it was Pep.
I'm pretty sure it was Pellegrini. I don't know.
We'll find out.
It was Mancini, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
So Pep's not letting that happen.
No, I don't.
He's not letting that happen.
And also Noel saying that Foden's going to be 3 times the player Gazza was.
There you go.
Interesting.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.